So we have been working through the 8 limbs, and those of you who've been coming every week have heard this a few times. And the 8 limbs of classical yoga as prescribed and described by Patanjali in the Yoga Sutras. So this is classical yoga. So if you've been to any yoga class, especially mine before, you've had bits and pieces of this woven in throughout it. And so we have just been studying this more directly. So for the first 5 weeks of the year, we studied the first limb, which was yamas, the things that you should abstain from doing in order to be happy. The second 5 weeks of the year, we focus on the niyamas, which are the things you should do in order to be happy. And then we just finished last week 3 weeks on asana, which are yoga postures, which was a really fun exploration. We did a week on vinyasa, which is yoga flow. We did a yin-inspired practice that was more still, maybe just holding postures and shaking for a while. And then, of course, last week's was lovely. We did a restorative practice. So if you missed the restorative one, go back to the recording from last week and do that class. It's really yummy. And now we're going to practice the fourth limb, which is pranayama, which is classically understood to mean breath work. And there's so much we could do on pranayama. I mean, heck, I wrote a book on it. Go get the book if you need to. It's called Essential Pranayama. So there's a lot we could cover, but I felt instead of like exhausting it, that we just spend 3 weeks focusing on one technique each week. Okay, and there's plenty more we could dive into, and we will at a different date. So that kind of leads us up to where we are today and the practice that we're going to do today. So just to break down pranayama for you, yes, it's breath work. It's working with the breath in different ways, but the breath is a vehicle for prana, or life force energy. In other systems, it's called chi. I think about it as like electricity. You know, it's a thing that animates everything. It's a thing that moves in our bodies. Like, this is something we can actually observe and measure. We know that our thoughts are just electrical currents flying through our brains. We know that this is true, and it's true throughout the entire body and the world, the universe actually itself. And so the yogis understood how to control that in order to have certain effects. So if you're too frenetic, there's ways to harness prana to calm down. If you're feeling lethargic and depressed, there's ways to harness prana to increase it or bring more into your body so that you can be more vital, so you can feel more alive. Now, at the end of the day, just like asana, pranayama, the goal is to help our minds become still, our minds become regulated so that we can move into the deeper stages of the 8 limbs, which we'll still explore, and essentially reach meditation. And then maybe even reach stages of enlightenment and absorption. And we'll get to what all that means in a few weeks, but just hang out with me where we're at right now, if you can, with just pranayama. Now, the effects of it can be energetic, the effects can be physical. You may find, especially with the technique we'll do today, that pranayama can actually help us stay in postures that might feel a bit more difficult with a little bit more grace and poise. We can find the strength, we can find the support through our breath. And so today's technique that we'll do is called Ujjayi Pranayama, which means the audible breath or the victorious breath. And it's not victory over external circumstances, though it can help. It is actually victory over those restless fluctuations of the mind. This helps to focus the mind. The mind is attracted to sound, movement, and sensation. This breath helps to ground the mind through those 3 different points. Now, to practice this, what we do is we think about the back of the throat, the glottis down here. The glottis is like the little flap that covers your windpipe. So when you swallow, you don't take, ideally, food down your windpipe. We constrict that softly to make a hissing or ocean or Darth Vader type sound as we breathe. It's kind of like a soft snore. A way that I've seen it taught before is actually like you're trying to fog a mirror or something, or a piece of glass in front of you. So if you have the glass in front of you, just go. But so that's what's happening at the throat, but you do it with the mouth closed. And it creates this audibility. Now, there are a couple of levels to practicing this. Most of us, if not all of us, should be able to make the sound on exhale. We're used to making sounds on exhale. For those of you who are a bit more practiced, you might be able to create the sound on inhale as well. Now, if that causes any strain to the throat, don't worry about making the sound on inhale. Just focus making the sound on exhale. And we're going to practice this technique throughout the entire class tonight. And you can bring it into your body. You can bring it into your practice beyond tonight anytime you need to. This is a great technique to do to help oxygenate the blood. It's a great way, again, to calm the mind. It's a great way to regulate the nervous system, pulling us out of that fight or flight response. And it's just also kind of a soothing practice to do. I would say it's not restorative. Like I wouldn't say like go into a restorative practice and necessarily do it because it can be quite heating for the body because we're creating some friction at the throat, but it can still help to soothe the mind and to focus everything. All right. I think I'll stop there. That was a lengthy explanation. If you have the book and you want to see how I explain it in the book, I think the first time I mention it is on page 78. I give a few different ways to practice it in the book. So if you want to learn what those are, you can check that out. So let's start by getting centered. Go ahead and sit tall, please. Sitting comfortably, relax your shoulders down your back. Close the eyes and take a few deep breaths in and out. And let your breath become steady, not forcing the inhale or exhale. And bring your awareness to the sensation of your breath at your throat. The sensation on inhale might feel cooler or drier. Sensation on exhale might feel warmer and more humid. And then when you're ready, gently constrict the back of your throat, the glottis, just slightly to make that soft whisper of the breath, that hissing or again, ocean type sound. So again, as you make this audible breath, the inhale is a bit harder. So if that feels straining to you, don't worry about it. You can just focus on the exhale, but if you do have access to the sound on inhale, please employ that. Breathing audibly. This breath helping us to achieve single pointed awareness, settling down from the more frenetic movements of the mind to just the awareness of the breath. We'll continue for just a few more rounds. And as you finish this next audible exhale, go ahead and release the technique. Maybe feeling a bit more centered or grounded. It's from this place that we'll chant Om 3 times to open. So go ahead and take a deep breath in to begin. Om. 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 Your palms to your heart and bow your chin. And honor yourself as you are in this moment, body, breath, energy, and mind. It's in service of all of that that we will practice this evening. Go ahead and rub the palms together, creating heat. And take the heated palms over your eyes, brushing back over the top of your head, down your neck, bringing yourself back to the room. All right, so let's start on our backs. Moving your props off to the side, coming to lay down, please. And take your time getting there. But once you are there, go ahead and hug your knees into your chest. Good. Feeling the body here on the ground, points of contact it makes with the floor, and that gentle breath moving in the body. We'll begin with some core work. So take a deep breath in. Exhale, curl the chin in toward the throat, bring the forehead up toward the knees, shoulders lift off the ground. Stay up for the inhale. And then exhale, release the shoulders and head back down. Stay down for the inhale. Exhale, chin to throat, forehead lifts toward the knees, shoulders come up off the ground. Stay up for the inhale. And exhale, release the shoulders and head back down. Again, stay down for your inhale. Exhale, curl back up. Stay up for the inhale. And exhale, curl back down. Bring in the Ujjayi breath, the audible breathing. Exhale, curl up. Stay up. Exhale, curl down. Stay down for the inhale. We'll add on to it this time. Exhale, curl the chin in toward the throat. Lift the forehead. Extend your arms forward, palms face up. And we're going to stay up a bit longer this time. Really reach your fingertips as far forward in front of you as you can, pulling the shoulders away from the floor. Feeling that core engage. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, release the head and shoulders down, holding on to the knees or shins. Good. So building on to that, go ahead and curl the chin in toward the throat. Exhale, forehead up toward the knees, shoulders lift, extend the arms. And this time extend the legs about 45 degrees off the floor, coming into a low boat pose. Good. Breathe. Good. Deep breath in. And exhale, knees to chest. Release the head and shoulders back down. Good. Take an adjusting breath or two here. But we're really going to build some fire, all right? So before we come up for the next round, interlace your fingers and bring them lightly to the back of your head. Now, it's important when we curl up here that you're not yanking on the head. The hands are just lightly holding behind the head, maybe supporting it slightly, but you're not jutting, you're not pushing the head forward here. All right, that's my caveat. Don't do that. All right, take a deep breath in. Exhale, curl the chin in toward the throat, forehead up, shoulders lift. Again, and fingers interlace behind the head. Extend the legs forward. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring your left knee into your chest. Bring your right elbow across as if you're trying to touch it. And then switch sides, left elbow to right knee. And then switch, 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 switch. Keep going. Switch, 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 breathe. Switch, switch, 3, switch, 2, switch, and 1. Go ahead and hug the knees in, take a deep breath in and out. All right, feeling that energy building at the core. Why not? We'll do a little bit more core work. All right, why not? All right, take a deep breath in. Exhale, chin to throat, forehead lifts. Good, you can just extend the arms forward this time. Take the legs forward. Then take the arms and legs wide, exhale, cross. Inhale wide, exhale, cross. Inhale wide, exhale, cross. Keep going. 3, 2, and 1. Knees, chest, come on down, hug them in. Deep breath in, and maybe even sigh it out. Even sighing, the sighing sound is like Ujjayi. It's asking the nervous system to calm down. It's part of the regulation of our nervous system. Even animals sigh. It helps to calm that stress response. So now go ahead and take your feet flat to the floor, heels underneath the knees, about hip width apart, prepping for bridge pose. We'll go in and out a few times and then we'll hold. So go ahead and lift the hips into the air. Inhale, reach the arms all the way overhead, knuckles on the floor above you. And then exhale, release the arms and hips back down. Inhale, lift back up again. Exhale, release down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Good. Leave the arms down. Inhale, pick up the hips, coming into bridge pose. Good. Now we're going to hold the pose for a bit. If you'd like to, and if you're able to, you can interlace the fingers underneath your body and then roll onto the sides of your shoulders so that you can press up a little bit higher, bringing the chest toward your chin. Now, as you're holding this pose, please bring back in the Ujjayi Pranayama, the audible breath. And you can imagine as you hear that sound of the breath, as you hold this pose, you're drawing in energy, you're drawing in prana through the chest. You're revitalizing, you're rejuvenating, you're bringing in more energy. Press it a bit higher. And deep breath in. And then carefully interlace the fingers, roll down the shoulders, and come back down onto your back. Take an adjusting breath here. Good, all right. So please go ahead and roll and come up to hands and knees, table pose. Hands under your shoulders, knees beneath the hips or slightly further back. Inhale, look forward, feel the tailbone lift. Curl the toes under, exhale, lift into downward facing dog. Now it's the first down dog of the evening, so go ahead and walk it out a bit, pressing a heel to the floor and bending the opposite knee. Good. Feeling length in your spine as well. And then bring back in the Ujjayi Pranayama, the audible breath. And try to keep that audible breath with you as we move through Danda Kriya about 5 times. So inhale, come into plank pose. Exhale, bend your elbows in towards your waist. Bring yourself 1 inch from the floor, chaturanga. And then press the arms straight. Take the shoulders back, knees off the ground, upward facing dog. And then exhale, pull back to downward facing dog. Good. Again, inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 more times. Again, with Ujjayi. Plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. Downward dog. Plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing. 1 more time. Plank pose. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Good job. All right, so from here, walk your hands back to meet your feet, coming into Uttanasana, the standing forward fold. Press palms to shins, come halfway up, extend the spine forward, heart parallel to the floor, and then exhale, fold back down. Let's do that again. Press halfway up. It's like we're creating more length or space in the front of the body. And then with the exhale, use that space to fold just a little bit deeper over your legs. 1 more time just for fun. Halfway up, inhale. Exhale, fold. Good. Now staying in the forward fold, please interlace your fingers at your lower back. Squeezing the shoulder blades together, lift the arms off the back and overhead as much as you can. It's pretty important here that you keep the knees just a little bit bent. Don't lock them. They're still straight, but they're just a little bit bent. All right, so from here, go ahead and bend your knees deeply, 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 like you would for chair pose. Release the arms, sweep them forward, and come into chair pose. Good. Feel the hips sink down as the sternum lifts. Focus your eyes. Bring in the Ujjayi breath. Good. Inhale, straighten the legs. And exhale, release the arms on down. Take an adjusting breath. Feel sensation. Always good to bring awareness back to the body. All right. So we're gonna do an arm swing practice right now. And I don't teach this one all the time, so it's not the normal one we do if you come a lot. So just watch me do it a few times and then just join in. Now it's easier to do if you don't think about it too hard, all right? The second you start to try to think about what the arm's supposed to do, you'll mess it up. So just be gentle with yourself. So the move is arms up, arms back, arms cross, arms back. Up, back, cross, back. Up, back, cross, back. Go ahead and join me. Up, back, cross, back. Up, back, cross, back. Up, back, cross, back. Up, back, cross, back. Keep going. Breathing as you move. Just feeling the shoulders moving around kind of loosely in their sockets. Make sure the knees are not locked here. There's a slight give to them. It's almost like they're springs. Up, back, cross, back. Up, back, cross, back. Now, if you're not getting tripped up with this and you want to give a little bit more mindfulness to the practice, you can switch which arm crosses on top each time. If that just throws you off, don't worry about it. up, back, cross, back. But if you're able to, give it a try. Just another layer of awareness to add to this practice. Up, back, cross, back. Up, back, cross, back. You're going to hear that in your sleep tonight. So we're going for about a full 2 minutes. So you're almost the halfway point. Just keep swinging it out. This could be quick, it could be slow. I encourage you to keep moving if you can. It starts to reset the nervous system after a little while. Taking these deep breaths as you move. Up, back, cross, back. Up, back, cross, back. Don't think about it. About 30 more seconds. Up, back, cross, back. Up, back, cross, back. Almost there. Up, back, cross, back, up, back, cross, back. Up, back, cross, back. Last one, up, back, cross, and release. Whew. Feeling sensation in the arms, that tingling in the hands. Or wherever you're feeling it. Feel it. All right. So from here, take your arms all the way overhead, relax your shoulders, and start to shake your hands. Make sure I'm on, you can actually see my hands on camera. There we go. Just shake, just flick your wrist, just shake your hands, just shake, shake, shake. And breathe. Bring in Ujjayi Pranayama now. Especially with that exhale. Shake, 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 shake. Animals do this too. When they're stressed out, they shake. It helps to get rid of that frenetic, stressed out energy. Shake, shake, shake. We're gonna go for about 20 more seconds. Don't stop, keep going. Shake, 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 shake. Whew, shake. 5 more seconds. Shake, 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 shake. 3, 2, and 1. Notice the stillness that comes after that. Be with that. It's almost like a spaciousness. The mind, in your body. Bring in a soft Ujjayi. Okay, taking a deeper breath. So let's go ahead and do a sun salutation. We'll be working with Warrior 2 tonight. So stepping to the top of your mat, whichever direction that is for you. Have the feet about hip distance apart. And we're going to try to keep Ujjayi with us throughout the entire practice. of this sun salutation at least. All right. You might lose it at certain points because you're getting used to the body, but don't worry, I'll keep calling you back to it. So finding that Ujjayi breath before we start moving, that audible inhale, that audible exhale. Bring your palms to your heart. With your next inhale, sweep the arms down, back and up. Exhale, bend both knees, drop the body down, sweep your arms behind you, chair prep. Keep the knees bent as you lift the arms up into chair pose. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, hinge at the hips, swan dive forward and down. Inhale, palms to shins, halfway up. And exhale, release down. Take the right foot way back. Back foot flat to the floor, toes pointing out to the side. Bend the front knee deeply. And then sweep the right arm forward and pull yourself up into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Let's stay for a moment. Get a deep breath in. Then exhale, swim forward, bring the hands to the ground and step back to downward facing dog. And then we'll move through Danda Kriya again. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Good. Once you return to down dog, lift your right leg high into the air. And exhale, step that right foot all the way between the hands, help it through. Back foot flat to the floor, toes pointing out to the side. Bend the right knee. Left arm reaches forward and pulls you up into Warrior 2 on this side. So we'll stay for a couple of breaths. Breathing audibly, deep breath in. Then exhale, swim forward, step forward, Uttanasana. Palms to shins, halfway up. And exhale, fold. Sweep the arms out to the side, the flat back, come all the way up, inhale. And bring your palms to your heart. Good, let's go ahead and do that again. Inhale, sweep your arms down and up. Exhale, bend the knees, chair prep. Chair pose. Stay for the exhale. Lift and fold. Halfway up and down. Step the left foot back. Again, prepping for Warrior 2, bend the right knee. Inhale, come on up. Good, deep breath in here. And exhale, swim forward, downward facing dog, stepping the right foot back. Danda Kriya, plank. Chaturanga, upward facing dog. To downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. And step the left foot forward, help it through. Back foot out to the, or back foot flat to the floor, toes out to the side, bend the front knee. Right arm reaches forward and pinwheels you up into Warrior 2. Staying for a breath or so. Deep breath in. And exhale, swim forward, step forward. Palms to shins, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Arms out to the side, come all the way up. And palms to the heart. We're going to keep this moving. Keep that Ujjayi with you. Sweep up, inhale. Chair prep. Chair pose. Inhale, straighten the legs. And exhale, fold forward. Halfway rise. And step the right foot back this time. Back foot flat to the floor. Warrior 2, come on up. Deep breath in. And exhale, swim forward and step back, downward facing. Then Danda Kriya, plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, to downward facing dog. Right leg lifts when you get there. Step it through, back foot flat, Warrior 2. Stay. And then exhale, swim forward, step forward, halfway rise, and down. All the way up, inhale. Let's just go right into the next round. Bend the knees, sweep the arms back, chair prep, chair pose. Lift, fold, halfway up, and exhale, fold. Step the left foot back foot flat, warrior two, come on up. Inhale. Exhale, swim forward, step back, downward facing dog, Danda Kriya. You know the moves. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Left foot lifts and steps. Back foot flat, warrior two. Deep breath in. Exhale, swim forward, step forward. Palms to shins. Exhale, fold. Arms out to the side, come all the way up. Again, chair prep, chair pose. Lift and fold. Halfway. Right foot steps back, warrior two, come on up. Inhale. Go ahead and swim forward, downward facing dog, Danda Kriya. Turning to downward facing dog, right leg lifts, step it through. Back foot flat, warrior two. Stay for the inhale. And exhale, swim forward, step forward. Palms to shins. And down. All the way up, inhale. Chair prep. Chair pose. Lift. And fold. Halfway. Left foot. Warrior two. Sink in. Now stay for a minute. Literally 60 seconds. I have it on the clock right now. And I want you to sink into that front knee, and I want you to breathe with Ujjayi. If you can, making the breath audible on inhale, but everybody making it audible on exhale. Soften your face, your jaw. And for the eyes, focus on a single point. Don't look around. Don't let the eyes flutter from side to side. Just focus on a single point on the wall or whatever is in front of you. And breathe Ujjayi with that point. I know it's a long minute. About 20 more seconds, you're getting close. Keep the front knee bending. I know it's tempting to want to straighten it, but stay with it. 10 seconds. All right, take a deep breath in. Exhale, swim forward. Step back to downward facing dog. Moving through Danda Kriya, plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog to downward facing dog. But let's just hold down dog for a few breaths. Give your body a little bit of a break before we hold warrior two on the other side. Except this time you know it's coming. Left foot lifts. Step it through. Back foot flat. Warrior two, come on up. The timer starts when everybody's here. I can feel it. I know when you're there. I know when you're not there. All right. Full minute. Let's go. Again, keep bending into the front knee. Ujjayi Pranayama. Again, it helps to calm the mind. We start getting these frenetic thoughts about how this might be uncomfortable or my body can't do this, etc. That helps to calm that noise down. And as far as your eyes go, keep the eyes focused to a single non-moving point in front of you. A point about the size of a nail on a wall, not very big. "20 more seconds. Deep breath in. And exhale, swim forward, step forward. Palms to shins, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Sweep the arms out to the side, come all the way up. And palms to your heart. Great job, great job. Take a moment here in center. You can choose to breathe audibly or you can choose to breathe silently. Just let yourself adjust. All right, so whether you might not be happy about it, but we're going to practice a warrior two stance again. So just watch me do the practice first, and then you'll be able to kind of translate that to your body a bit better. So I'm going to come back into warrior two stance. So back foot flat on the floor, front toes pointing forward. I'm going to sink deeply into the front knee. This front knee should be at about a 90-degree angle. And then it's my left knee forward. I'm taking my left elbow onto the thigh. And it's tempting to put all the weight onto the knee. Try not to do that. Try to keep it light, all right? And then I'm gonna sweep the top arm overhead and look up at the hand. And then I'm gonna sweep the arm behind me. I'll turn my head to look down at my left toes. And then I'm gonna reach forward, look up, reach back, look down. We're gonna do that several times. After those several times, the top arm is gonna go behind you. And back here, you can grab onto your waistband. Some of you might have the flexibility to bring that back hand around to hold onto the front thigh. But you wanna make some kind of connection to anchor that shoulder back. So once you have that connection, you're gonna allow the left ear, in this case, to drop toward the left shoulder, and you get a big stretch on the right side of the neck, almost so much that you forget your thigh is burning. But we'll see how that feels in your body. So go ahead and come into a warrior two stance, a nice wide stance with the legs, with the left foot forward. The good news is you're all warmed up for this. All right. So with that left leg forward, just go ahead and sink on in. And check, is this front knee at about 90 degrees? You do want to make sure the knee is not going beyond the ankle. It's better to be too far back than too far forward, all right? And then bring that left elbow onto the left thigh or knee. Good. And then sweep the right arm into the air and overhead. Look up at the palm. And then exhale, sweep the right arm behind you. Look down at the left toes. Then inhale, reach the arm overhead. Look up, inhale. And exhale, sweep the arm behind you. Look down. Keep going. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sweep back. Look down. We'll do a couple more. Good. Last one, sweep up. Then exhale, sweep that right arm behind you, look down, and drop that arm behind you. Make a connection. Grab onto some clothing. Again, some of you might be able to grab the inner thigh, allowing that right shoulder to be held back. And then allow your left ear to kind of just drop toward your left shoulder. Keep the front knee bending. And you can even bring Ujjayi to this pose. Get lighter on that left elbow. Two more breaths. Good, then release the connection behind you, straighten the left leg, and come on up. Take a moment and feel. Good. So to do the other side, all you have to do is change the angles of your feet. Ta-da! Or if you don't like that, you can step forward and step the other foot back. Just make sure your right toes are pointing forward, left foot back behind you, flat on the floor, and then bend down into that right knee. And again, make sure that comes to about a 90-degree angle. Better to be too short of that than too far over, okay? Right elbow down onto right thigh. Good, go ahead and sweep the left arm into the air and overhead, look up. Exhale, sweep that left arm behind you, look down at your right toes. Inhale, sweep up and over, look up. Exhale, sweep behind you, look down. A few more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Sweep. And then sweep that left arm behind you. Make a connection, your waistband, the inner thigh, something back there. Good. Anchoring that left shoulder back, and then allow your right ear to drop toward its shoulder. Breathe, Ujjayi. Stay light on that right elbow. Good. All right. Go ahead and release the connection. Straighten the right leg. Turn the feet parallel so the right toes come to face directly forward. And just slide the hands down the backs of your legs, coming into a wide leg forward fold. Good. Bend the knees just slightly, just a little bit of a hinge to them. You can just stay folding forward here. If you want to, you can interlace the fingers at the lower back and lift the arms off your back. And bring Ujjayi to this moment. Victory over the restless fluctuations of your mind. There's a saying that the mind controls the body, but the breath controls the mind. Use the breath. Focus your mind, allowing you to choose your thoughts. There's another saying that says, choose your thoughts like you choose your friends. Your arms overhead, go ahead and release them. With your hands or fingertips on the floor, lift yourself up halfway. And we're going to transition to downward facing dog. So whichever way you want to do that on your mat, you can just do a turn to the side and step a leg back. And then when you're done, go ahead and drop down onto your knees gently. And our first child's pose of the class, saving it for the end here, go ahead and release back to child's pose. A soft Ujjayi here. And soft meaning that it's not the hard constriction that we might apply in other circumstances, but just like a soft, even smaller whisper of the breath, just slightly audible. All right. When you're ready, go ahead and roll yourself up to a seat. I'll quickly demonstrate this next exercise. So this is one that we've done quite a few times if you've been coming frequently, but I always like to demonstrate it because there's things I don't want you to do in it. That's all. So we're going to practice rabbit pose. So I'm going to come back to child's pose. You can just watch me first. And I'll bring the top of the forehead or the hairline to the floor. Now the head stays on the ground the whole time. There's no picking it up and shifting it. And I'm not really going to effort my arms or shoulders. I'm just going to think about lifting and lowering my hips off of my heels. And so with an inhale, I'll do just that. And I'll rock on the top of the head from the hairline to the very top of the head. And then I'll exhale, release the hips back. And then I'll rock forward again and rock back again. Now, what I don't want you to do, and I won't even demonstrate it, but is to go to the top of the head and then keep rolling. The truth is you'll get a great stretch in your neck now, but you won't be able to turn your head tomorrow. So don't go that far. Just the top of the head is going to give you all the love you need in this pose. Now we're going to couple this with Ujjayi, and we're going to introduce a concept called Kumbhaka, which we'll study more in depth in a couple of weeks, but Kumbhaka means to pause the breath intentionally. And so when we're moving in and out, we're going to come to the top, which will be the top of the head, which will be the top of your inhale. We'll hold the breath in for just like 2 counts, and then release down, and then move back in. So we're only going to add the hold after the inhalation. And again, it's not long at all. You don't need much time for the pause, just 2 counts, just time it takes you to click your fingers twice. Okay, let's go ahead and do this together. Go ahead and come to child's pose. Relax your forearms and bring the top of the forehead or the hairline to the floor. And again, you're thinking about lifting and lowering your hips. So go ahead and inhale with Ujjayi, rock to the crown of the head. Hold the breath in, and then exhale, release down with Ujjayi. And then just keep going. Rock in slowly. Hold the breath in at the top, and then exhale down slowly. Breathing audibly the entire time. So keep going at your own pace. Let's do a few more rounds, moving in and out audibly, adding that short pause after inhale. And as you come to child's pose this time, go ahead and stay for a few rounds of breath. All right. When you're ready, please slither forward down onto your belly. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, elbows bent. And just to help counterpost some of the work we've done, we'll play around with the locust. So feeling your pelvis press firmly into the ground, inhale, lift your head, chest, and your legs, floating up. Squeezing up the legs behind you, shoulders down the back, heart and head are looking forward, and you're breathing. You might even be breathing audibly. I don't know, give it a try. Squeeze up to your highest point, and then float down. Curl the toes under, push up to plank pose, and back to downward facing dog. All right, so go ahead and float down onto hands and knees and release back to a seat, sitting on your heels. Good, so we're gonna come into what's called a kneeling twist. So bring your palms together in front of you, shoulders down the back, take a deep breath in. With your exhale, you're gonna take your right elbow across the body to the top of your left thigh. Now, if that's just not happening, which actually has more to do with body proportions than anything else, you could bring the right elbow down onto the floor, or if you had a yoga block, you could bring a yoga block in front of that knee. Okay, so just bring that elbow down as best you can, and then press the palms together and work the left shoulder back, coming into a twist. Looking up with your head if you can. If that's too much on the neck, you can look just straight forward. Good, go ahead and unwind. Good, let's go the other way. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, take the left elbow across. Again, to the top of the thigh, the floor in front of the knee, or if you have a yoga block, you could put a block in front of your knee. Press the palms together. And with an exhale, take the right shoulder back, maybe even looking up. All right, inhale, unwind. And then from your kneeling position, just go ahead and bring your hands to the floor and release down into child's pose one more time. And as you reach the fingertips forward, feel your heels powerfully ground toward your heels. Hips grounding towards your heels, fingertips reaching forward. Staying for a few more breaths, allow those breaths to be a soft Ujjayi. One more breath. And then carefully roll yourself up. Great job. So let's go ahead and come onto our backs for Shavasana, our final resting posture. Bring any support where you need it for that. So just come to lay down. So as you come to lie down on your back, take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And if that felt good, do it again. And then allow the breath to be silent. Relaxing the throat, the airway just free and open. Now, one thing that continued practice of Ujjayi Pranayama can do is bring a certain sensitivity to the head, to the center of the brain. Maybe it feels like a pulsing or a light, or just an awareness. Maybe it's a softness from that sound reverberating through the nostrils. You don't have to make the sound now, but just aware of that point around the center of the brain. And imagine that that sensation or that point is just a ball of soft light. A ball of soft light, just illuminating your consciousness, illuminating your brain, your mind. And just hold your awareness at this light at the center of the brain, and any thoughts that come into your consciousness that are not this light dissolve in the presence of this light. Any thoughts that are not this light dissolve in the presence of this light. peace, peace, peace. Please take a deeper, fuller breath. Bring some gentle movement to your hands and feet, to your arms and legs. And then go ahead and roll onto your right side. Coming on up to a seat. So if you're continuing to make your way to a seat, just continue to go at your own pace. But if you're there already, sit tall. Close the eyes, relax the shoulders. And bring back the Ujjayi Pranayama, this victorious breath we've been working with all night. Audible on inhale if you can. Audible exhale. Now, as you continue to breathe audibly, of course, there's a sensation of the breath at the back of the throat, but I'd like you to be aware of that light in the brain again, that point at the center of the brain. And imagine with each inhale that you're drawing in light from the space around you to that point at the center of the brain. And as you exhale, that light takes root in your consciousness. Breathing audibly. Light to the brain on inhale. That light taking root in your consciousness as you exhale. Then with this next exhale, relax the Ujjayi, breathing silently. But still aware of that light in the brain, now firmly rooted in your consciousness. Maybe it feels still or calm. Maybe it feels spacious or open. Whatever quality you've gained here, be with that quality. And just know that you can come back to this space, this place in your mind, this place of being that you currently occupy. And you have the key now. You have Ujjayi. You know what to practice. You know how to practice. Claiming victory over those restless fluctuations of your consciousness. So with that, take a deeper, fuller breath. Self, for all of the work you've done here tonight and for practicing this pranayama. May all of that effort and this practice continue to serve you. Until next time, namaste.